Testing, testing. Just testing before we go live. Testing, testing. Perfect. I will see you guys in just a bit. I always have issues going live, so I'm very excited that this is working. I will see you guys in just a sec. Hi guys, you should be able to hear me. Oh, let's see. Before I get started, I want to make sure that you guys can hear me and that we are good to go. And that let me test it on here. Hi guys. Sounds good. That's the only way for me to know, honestly, is for me to actually look at my live stream and to watch it myself, because otherwise I really don't know. But welcome. I'm really excited for you to be here. Today is going to be a little different because I want to do this in a workshop format. So rather than me just showing you the movements, us just doing it together, I'm going to sort of explain to you why this is important. Because in a workshop environment, I want you to feel like you have some tools that you can take off of the mat with you, so that in your day-to-day life, you will feel like you can implement some of these things into your practice, into your hip mobility routines, and hopefully the routines that you do from me on YouTube or in my membership. The classes are way more in depth. I speak in those. My YouTube classes are sort of now just music only and a follow along. So in the membership, we actually go deep, and I do a lot of this talking, a lot of the explaining, so that you have the tools necessary, so that when you are practicing, you know what to do. Because really what's valuable, when you are trying to create a version of fitness, flexibility, mobility in your world, is also having the knowledge necessary to make that happen. Because if you're following blindly and you're kind of just doing what other people do, it's not going to get you there even close to as fast as if you know what to do. You know how to elongate your hips, you know how to elongate your hamstrings, that kind of stuff. I want you to know the secrets, the small little details that really make that big picture that you want in your practice. All right, so let's go ahead and get started right away. We're going to start on our backs. I'm going to keep the live stream here with me. So if you at any moment in the practice feel like I have no idea what I'm doing, I want you to be able to pop in that live chat and actually chat about it with me. Maybe ask me a question. So I will be checking the chat regularly. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. Lay on your back in the meantime. And also, please do let me know if at any point the audio stops working or something like that. Just pop it in the chat. I will be checking regularly. All right, we're on our backs. I hope you can see me. I did try to light it up in here, but it is kind of tricky. So sometimes the lighting situation isn't so good, especially since it is overcast outside. All right, so right away, I want you to bend your knees, maybe knock them together, and just take a moment here to really relax and melt into the floor. So you're allowing gravity to pull you into the ground. You're feeling your feet on the floor. You're feeling your hips, your low back on the floor. You're feeling some vertebrae on the ground, the back of your rib cage, your shoulders, your head. And I want you to create that awareness of gravity, right? So we can really utilize gravity as a tool in our practice, in our flexibility and mobility, in our strength. This is how we grow, is actually going against gravity. It's pretty fun. So when you think of gravity as a tool, that might change your mindset a little bit. When you're feeling, a struggle in your practice, you're feeling challenged, rather than giving up, just knowing, okay, this is good. This difficulty is important. This difficulty is part of the journey. So now that we have that awareness of the gravity, close off your eyes and notice how you feel in this moment. When it comes to elongating the muscles and creating mobility in our joints, our nervous system is crucial. It is so important. In fact, if you are in a highly stressed state, you are not going to improve in your mobility and flexibility practice, okay? Your nervous system controls a lot of your muscle elongation, your muscle health, your joint health, and the mobility of joints, because when you are stressed, everything's going to be tight, everything's going to hold on for dear life. You need to be able to tap into your nervous system, activate the parasympathetic, which is the opposite of the fight or flight, with deep breaths. So melting into the ground, take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, imagine yourself relaxing your entire body, anything that has tension right now. So maybe your eyebrows, maybe your shoulders, maybe your abdomen, maybe your legs, maybe your feet, anything that has any tension. I want you to let it go. Deep breath in again. And exhale, let it go. One more deep breath in through the nose. Just checking the chat. You keep going. And as you exhale, let it go. Beautiful job. All right. From here, take a deep breath in through the nose again. And as you exhale, really notice your hips anchor into the floor. There we go. I had to click one thing. Take a deep breath in, your hips are anchored to the ground. Notice the position that they're in line with one another. And then as you exhale, tuck in your pelvis and lift your hips all the way up to the sky. Inhale, bring your hips down, tap your mat with your tailbone. Exhale, lift. Inhale, float down, and exhale, lift. We're going to do H here. So we're warming up the hip joint. We really don't want to start doing some crazy stretching and strengthening and lubrication of the joint unless it is warmed up. And I know for me, I am quite cold in my muscles. I'm tired because I was up, because we know why. Big day for America. 3, 2, I feel my glutes warming up. I feel the front of my hips warming up. Okay, so important. Now, inhale, bring the hips down. Exhale, lift. At the top, I want you to drop the right hip down now with your right butt. So your right cheek is going to tap down on the mat. And then as you exhale, you're lifting it back up. Now left side. So left cheek coming down, tap and lift. So right down, exhale, lift. Left and lift, right and lift. 4 more, and 1, 2, you got this. I know there's a little bit of a burn happening, but so important. Last 2, last 1. Now, we're at the top. If you need to take a break, just bring your hips down. Otherwise, hold it up. We're at the top, and what I'm going to start to introduce now is some spinal lubrication, okay? So again, when we're thinking about hip elongation, hip mobility, we need to take into account that our hips don't exist on their own. They are connected to other things in our body. I don't know why I can't talk. It's because I'm tired. I did not sleep a lot last night. They're connected to other body parts, obviously, but a lot of the times we isolate. Now, the spine is a very important part of hip elongation, because if your muscles are bundled up and tight here and your vertebrae are having issues because you don't move them regularly, you're going to have issues releasing your hips as well. So at the top, tuck in your hips. So it's like you're sending your tailbone up to the sky. You're going to roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, and then you'll untuck here. So arching the spine, creating some space underneath you. You should be able to put your arms underneath. Exhale, tuck the pelvis in, and then send your hips up. Okay, roll down all the way till you get to the bottom. Untuck, create the space underneath your back. Tuck it back, send the hips up. Rolling down again. And arch, tuck, and lift. Roll down and arch, tuck, and lift. Let's do 3. Arch, tuck, lift. Notice your pelvis is one higher than the other. We want it to be even. 2. Last 1. And lift. Now take a break if you need to. Bring your hips down, otherwise hold. Depending on where you are this morning, it's okay. Don't feel pressured. If it's too much, just take a break. Now, deep breath in. You're not lifting your hips as high as they can possibly go. You kind of want to be comfortable here, so bring them down a little bit if you've had them kind of high up towards the ceiling. We're going to play around with lubricating the joint and activating the muscles at the same time. So, your hips are not super high, they're comfortable. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift your right knee a little bit. Can you maintain that integrity in your hips? Can you keep them square? And then bring your right foot down. Exhale, lift the left. Can you maintain that integrity? I know it's going to drop a little. I know it's not going to be perfect, but try your best to keep your hips as square as possible. Inhale, exhale, lift the right leg, and then bring it down. Lift the left and down. It's really, really hard. It's tricky. We're inviting some balance and coordination too. Another very, very important part for lengthening the muscles, inviting mobility into your hips. This is holistic fitness. You guys know me. Let's do one more on both sides. 1. Roll down. Extend your legs out in front of you. Take a moment. I know the low back is feeling it right now. Take a breath. Inhale. And exhale. Okay. Hands on either side of you. Bend your right knee all the way up, almost like you're trying to bring your heel to your bum, and then slide it back down. Left, slide it in, and then back down. Okay, so we notice how that feels. Now, bend your knees, bringing your knees pretty close to your bum again, and then exhale, tuck in the pelvis. I want you to try to create fleshness with the mat here. Okay, now can you repeat that same movement, but keeping an activation in the core because you're tucking in your pelvis and you've got fleshness with the mat. So I don't want you to arch when you send this leg out. I want you to keep your pelvis in the same position with an activation in the core. We're inviting the core in here as well. Another very, very important part. Other leg goes down and then lift back up. Okay, so keeping the hips tucked. You can even put your hands on your hips here to avoid them coming out. Tuck them in, activate the core. So a little bit of activation here. It doesn't need to be huge. Slide the right leg down, lift back up. We're not moving the pelvis. The pelvis is staying still. We're sliding the right out and then the left. Right leg out and then left. Yes. Okay, so I noticed my hips moving a little bit. It's okay, we're doing our best. It's not going to be perfect. It's all about the intention. One more time on both sides. Okay, knees together. Our hips are getting very, very warm right now. Inhale. As you exhale, can you slide both of your legs down at the same time, maintaining that integrity? It's so much harder. Slide it back. Ooh, I lost my integrity. Okay, we're trying to keep it. Activate the core. Slide them down. Flex as you come back up. It's a little easier. 2 more here. Can you feel your core talking to you? I can. So hard. We're doing our best. It doesn't need to be perfect. Last one. Yes, hi. Hello, core. Okay, feet in line with your hips. Bring your hands behind your head, elbows out wide. Inhale. Exhale, lift. We're going to be talking to the core a little bit now. We're going to invite it into the party. Now, elbows out nice and wide. You're looking towards the front of the room, not towards the roof. Inhale. Exhale, twist over to the right. Bring your right elbow down. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist, left. Inhale back to center. Right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center. Just 2 and 1. We're inviting the hips back in. Hug your right knee into your chest. Your chest is still elevated and your shoulders are off the floor. Extend your right leg up. Hello, hamstrings. Send your right leg down. Lift it back up. Inhale, right leg goes down. Exhale, lift. Down and lift. It's a straight leg. Down and lift. Can you invite a little stretch by bringing your knee closer? Down and lift. If this is too much, just bend your knee. Last 2. And 1. Bring that leg down. Extend the left leg out. Chest still lifted. Check in with your shoulder blades. We're lifting it off of the ground. Gazing towards the front of the room. Inhale as you send that leg down and then lift it back up. Send that leg down and lift. I really feel it in my core now. Down and lift. 5, 4, 3. Lots of flexion and extension of the hip. And 1. Bring that leg back down. Last little fun core moment. So hug your knees into your chest. We're still elevated. Bring the left elbow to the right knee and switch. Right elbow, left knee. Switch. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your chest down. Hug your knees into your chest. Amazing job. Do you feel warm in this area? I know I do. Okay, we've got the abs, we've got the glutes, we've got the hips, we've even got a little bit of the quads. Hug your knees into your chest. Place your hands on top of your knees. Push your knees out. Bring your knees over to the right slightly. Now, I don't want you to topple over. I just want you to feel a little bit of pressure on your low back. Bring your knees back in, pressure as you send your knees over to the left. On the left side of the low back, we're massaging the low back circles here. Okay, knees over to the left, to the right, bring them in. Little bit of joint lubrication here. So we've got the warm muscles, we're inviting joint lubrication. Let's switch. So we're going the other direction. So now we can really safely play around with some fun stretching and mobility moves. But again, don't push past pain points. If it doesn't feel right for you, don't continue. Let's get off our backs. Let's go into tabletop. I'm gonna check the chat. Cool. Okay. So, hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Take a deep breath in here. Long exhale, draw your head away from your pelvis. Shoulders down your back. Deep breath in. Exhale, pushing the floor away. Dome your fingertips a little bit so we've got a nice solid foundation. Inhale, send your belly button down towards the floor as you send your gaze out in front of you. Exhale, tuck in the pelvis, round the spine. Send the back of your rib cage up towards the sky. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round, tucking in the pelvis. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Warming up the spine here. Last one. And exhale, round. Let's start to move around a little bit more in our cat-cow. Inhale, arch, send your tailbone back towards your heels. As you exhale, tuck in the pelvis, round the spine, come all the way forward. Now, I want you to push past so that your shoulders come a little bit past your wrists. If you can go further than this, feel free to come into a swan. Otherwise, just stay up here and then push back again. So pushing back into that child's pose, round, come forward. Inhale, arch, send your tailbone back. Exhale, round, come forward. Either just staying here or coming all the way into swan. Come all the way back as you inhale. Let me fix my top, the struggle, and the microphone. You keep going at your own pace. Keep going at your own pace here. Take a few more reps. Let it feel good. Alrighty. Let's do one more. And come all the way back to tabletop. Shift your weight over to your left hand and left knee slightly as you hug your right knee into your chest. Now, slight rounding of the spine here. You're going to send your right knee out. I need to get my hair out of my mouth. Out to the right, and then send that knee back. Hug it into the chest, round again. Knee goes out, send it back, and hug. Out, around, and hug. Let's do 3 more. You're really going to feel the glute activate. Last one. Beautiful job. Now hug your right knee into your chest again. We're going to step it through to come into a low lunge. So you guys know how I teach the low lunge here. We don't go all the way down. That's not going to do anything for you. Instead, while we're up nice and high, focus on tucking in your pelvis as much as you can. And then you send your hips forward. So that is really going to give you that stretch in the front hip flex over there on the left side. So we've got the right leg in front, left leg behind, tucking in the pelvis, lifting up the spine nice and tall, your chest going up towards the ceiling. Your neck is nice and straight too. We're not slouching at all. Nice and elevated, nice and lifted, tucking in the pelvis, send your hips forward. You inhale, exhale, send the hips forward. So what we're doing now is inviting breath to help the muscles elongate. We're providing oxygen to the muscles and then allowing them to relax as well. We're activating the parasympathetic nervous system, again, contributing to that elongation. Our muscles are warm and they're ready to lengthen. Don't push past the pain point, but do push yourself a little, right? I want you to feel that stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. One more time. And exhale. We're going to come back to this again at the end of practice. Now, shift your weight back. Flex your front foot. Once again, often with a half split, I see people coming down as low as they can. Rather, can you stay up? We're practicing some balance too. Inhale, lift the spine as high as you can. Your neck is high, your chest is high. We are lifted through the whole spine. Send your tailbone back. Bend your knee if you need to. Your knee doesn't need to be straight. The only thing that needs to be straight is your spine. So send your tailbone back as much as you can and fold from the top of the body. We're not folding all the way down. That's not what's important. What's important is creating that pull, creating that length, because hip mobility and flexibility cannot happen with really tight hamstrings. It's going to be pulling on the low back, and in turn, it's going to create really tight hips. We need to loosen up this area. This is holistic fitness. We're making sure that every single area is accounted for. This is a part of the hip muscles that we need to elongate, okay? Inhale, exhale, send back. Can you go deeper? Can you send your tailbone back even more? Inhale again, Exhale, send that tailbone back. Now, come forward again. We're gonna come into a quad stretch. Once again, I see this done wrong all the time. I see people come into the quad stretch, lift their hips towards their quad, and then pull here. Instead, this is when we do bring the hips down as much as we can, because we're not focusing on stretching this hip flexor. We are trying to go lower into the quad. In order to do that, you do have to create a pull in the hip flexor to actually get into the quad. Can you feel that? If you come all the way down and then lift your back leg, so this is the left leg, just making sure we're all on the same page, flex your left foot as well, you're gonna feel it really intensely. It is not about grabbing the foot. It is about getting that pull to happen. That's what matters here. So as long as you're feeling the pull, you're gonna be just fine. You do not need to grab your foot, but a twist back to go deeper will do wonders. If you can grab the foot, go for it. Otherwise, don't. I'm feeling tight. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna let that quad stretch just happen without me having to pull my foot towards me. Let's invite some breath too. Let's do 3 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. And exhale. Beautiful job. Bring that leg back down. Bring your right hand down too. So both hands are on the floor. We are in a low lunge. We're almost in a lizard. Not quite. Now, we're going to play around a little bit with opening up the inside of the hip. So stay right where you are. I'm just going to move so that you can see me a little bit better. Okay? So we have the low lunge going on. We have the left leg back. What we're gonna do is tuck the left toe and we're gonna open up to come into a skandasana position. So we're getting into the inner thigh. Now this may be very, very tight for you still. So I do invite you to kind of just play around with opening this. If you need to come back, that's okay. We're gonna come back to this later and we will go into a full skandasana. But for now, I just want you to play around with stretching the inside of the hip, okay? You may even come back down a little bit. See what you can do to open up this area. It's one of the tightest areas in the body. Okay, so low lunge, just open up a little bit, send your weight back, play around with that. Maybe you need to come all the way up and just get that stretch going. Just invite that movement. That's all we're doing right now for this moment. I want you to be able to play around with your limits a little bit, play around with what feels good for you. This is all part of your hip mobility practice as well, and flexibility. And how we can really elongate those muscles is for you to practice coming into positions, getting your body comfortable there, because that's all part of the nervous system. And it also creates that mind-body connection that's also crucial. That's how you're going to get the muscles to elongate and relax. Okay. So we're going to come back into a tabletop position and we'll do those hip circles again on the left side this time. I think I'll stay facing this way. I'll let you know if I'm going to switch over. We're back in our tabletop, wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Nice solid foundation. Dome your fingertips. I want you to have that foundation solidified. Okay. So drawing the shoulder blades away from your ears, nice long line from the top of your head to your tailbone. Inhale. As you exhale, hug your left knee into your chest. Send that knee out, back, hug it back in. Out, back, hug it back in. Create the biggest circle that you possibly can. Sending the knee out, back and in. Hard for me right now. I've got a tight situation going on, especially since I worked my hips a little bit too hard last week with some weights. I've been experimenting. So if you've got some tightness, don't worry. We all have it. It happens to all of us. 2 more here. Keep breathing. Last one. On that last one, you hug your knee into your chest. We're stepping it through, coming into low lunge on the other side. We're not going all the way down. This is counterproductive. We're tucking in the pelvis as much as we can. We have a beautiful long line from the top of our head all the way down to our knee. Nice and straight, you're tucking in that pelvis and sending the hips forward. Almost like somebody's pushing your hips forward here, okay? Deep breath in. Exhale, send those hips forward. Beautiful job, inhale. Exhale, hips go forward. Oh, it feels so good for me right now. I have needed this, inhale. Exhale, send those hips forward. Last one, inhale, biggest one, and we will come back to this. Exhale forward. Yes. Coming all the way back up, slide that left foot out, flex the foot. Again, nice long line. We're not aiming to be all the way down. We are aiming to have the straightest, most elongated back possible while tipping that tailbone back. You can bend your knee here. It doesn't need to be straight. That's not the aim of the game. The aim of the game is that nice long elongated spine with the tailbone back. Inhale. Exhale, tipping back. Really sending it back. Can you also plug that hip back too? So notice if your front leg hip is kind of coming forward. Plug it back. You want them to be in line with each other. Inhale. Exhale. Checking the chat, you stay where you are. Feel free to let me know if you're having any issues. I'm here for you. Beautiful job. Last one. Sending it back. Let's come forward, come all the way down this time because we're going to get into the quad. So it is a different situation when we're getting lower down into the leg. So remember, you don't have to touch your foot. Send your hips down as much as they can. You're going to feel that stretch in the front of the right hip. Now, twist and open your left shoulder towards your right foot. Flex that foot as you lift it up. This is going to protect your knee. So if we have the pointed foot, it's just not going to give you as much solidification in that knee. So I do love to flex it here, and then you can kind of bring your hand back. I'm a lot more flexible on this side, I'm noticing today. I could not really go for my foot previously, which is fine. It doesn't need to be the same on both sides. Our sides are, what is it? Not twins, they're sisters, okay? They don't have to be completely the same. We are asymmetrical beings, totally normal. So sending the hips down, flexing, bringing your heel towards your bum. That's the aim of the game here. Notice how much closer this foot comes for me. Very interesting. Just another example of, you can stretch every single day. Some days are just different. I was up very late last night though, and we all know why. So let's take 3 deep breaths here to really relax the muscles. Deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in and exhale. One more deep breath here. Exhale, let's release that foot down. Now stay where you are. I'm just going to switch over so that you guys can see me here. Again, we're going to play around with inviting the internal muscles to be elongated here, okay? But they need some extra time to warm up, so we're not going straight in, but we are going to play around with it. So both hands are on the ground. Tuck your right toes under, so it's your back leg. We're going to push up and come back towards our left foot. Flex the foot, come back. Can you open up the inside of that right hip a little? Now, if this is too much still, feel free to come all the way up and kind of play around with opening it up here. But what we're really trying to do is come from the low lunge to open it up. So we're getting a little bit of movement within that joint capsule just to wake up these muscles. We're coming back to this, so don't feel like you really need to get into it just yet. So in that low lunge, push back, open up a little bit, play around with it. I want you to do what feels best for you in this moment. And again, it doesn't need to be the same as it was on the other side. This can be totally different. It is for me. So we're just opening it up a little bit. Coming back down. Okay. Yes. Let's push back to tabletop position. We're going to come into a down dog. If you haven't done down dog with me before, I'm going to take you through it. If you have, you know what to do. Okay, tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, find belly to thigh connection first, okay? So once again, notice what we're focusing on. We're focusing on an elongated spine. We are not focusing on straight legs. Keep your knees as bent as they need to be, but from here, you've got that nice straight spine. Send your heels down until you feel a stretch. Once you feel a stretch, this is your perfect down dog. From here, let's pedal out the feet. So draw your right heel down and then your left. Hello, hamstrings. I feel so warm that this is actually feeling really good for me. I hope that you are feeling the same. We have warmed up the body so much at this point, you should actually be able to stretch a little bit deeper in your hamstrings already. Deep breath. Exhale, let's draw the chest towards the knees. Remember, you can keep that nice deep bend. It's not what it's about. I want you to feel the stretch in the hamstrings though. Inhale and exhale. Let's hold one foot down, one heel down. Exhale, relax. Left foot down, inhale. And exhale, relax. Both heels down, inhale. Exhale, relax. Bring the knees down. Let's lie on our left side. Checking the chat here. All right, left side. So we are going to be inviting a lot of hip lubrication now, along with some glute strength and then elongation of these muscles. We're going to be playing around with flexion and extension and strength, eccentric movement. This is key. Okay, so you're lying on your side. You're creating a little bit of a support for your head. You can also bring your head all the way down and lie down completely on your side, totally up to you. Otherwise, I'm going to stay up a little bit for now, but I may change my mind and you can change your mind too. I want your head to be in line with your hips. Your knees are bent and you're going to extend your right leg out. When you extend your right leg out, send that hip down. So you're really reaching. What are we doing? We're elongating these muscles here. Very crucial for extension of your hip muscles, okay? I might have some issues with my window here, but that's okay. So sending that hip down as much as you can. We're also engaging the core. Inhale. Exhale, sending that foot down like you're really reaching for the wall or window or whatever's in front of you. And then exhale. Now, inhale, lift your right leg up. You can have your hands wherever you like. You can keep your hand here to make sure that your hip's down and then bring that leg down. Okay, inhale, exhale, lift, and down. And down. We're doing 8, 7, 6, everything is still. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Bring your foot forward. Now, we're doing circles. I feel the burn already. If you're not used to doing this, you're really going to feel it. Feel free to take a break at any time and then come back. There's no shame in that. Now, what are we doing? We're creating extension. When we send the foot behind our bodies, when your foot is behind your hip, you are in extension. Your hip muscle is elongating eccentrically. If you touch your hip muscle right now, it is activated and lengthened. This is how we create that flexibility. When we come up and around, we're creating flexion. So what we're doing is really creating a beautiful environment for our hip to move freely. Reverse, sending your leg up and around the other direction. I am on fire. This is good. Last 2 and 1. Bring your leg back down. we're gonna come to lie on our stomachs. Again, we're gonna play around with hip extension. Now, a few things to note. Bring your head all the way down like this. My microphone is gonna be too loud if I do that, so I'm gonna stay up. A few things to note here. You may feel like you're not moving at all with what we're about to do, but I want you to know that creating those connections, those mind-body connections, is really what's important here. So we have our head resting on our hands. You have a nice long spine. You're almost tucking in your chin so that you've got nice length in the back of your neck. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bring your right heel towards your bum, but I want you to bring your foot straight up so that your heel is stacked on top of your knee. Inhale. As you exhale, can you lift your knee up towards the ceiling and then bring it back down? Okay, so what are we doing? We are creating length in the front of the hip right now. So the muscles, as we lift it, are activating and lengthening. Okay, 5 more. And down. Lift and down. Even if it's not lifting at all, you're creating those connections. That's all that matters. Last 2 and 1. Hold it at the top. Extend your leg out. Really extend it. So you're reaching your toes towards the back of the room, bringing it down. Kick your heel to your booty. Knee goes up. Extend, reach, and down. Last 3. Extend and down, heel to booty, lift, extend, and down. Come back up. We're gonna go to the other side. So we're lying on the right side this time. How are we feeling? I know your hips are feeling warm. I know they're feeling amazing. I did not bring water and I'm very thirsty, but we're gonna be okay. We're lying on the right side. So we're gonna be playing around with the left leg this time. You have the option to have your head supported like this or coming all the way down. So up to you. Okay, head is in line with the hips. Your knees are bent. Then we place the hand on the hip. Let's extend that left leg out, sending it down, down, down. Can you feel the stretch here? Amazing. We never stretch this, don't we? So we have that elongation happening. We're creating that eccentric connection. Okay? Deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lift that leg up. Hips are staying where they are. If you need to take a break, that's okay. Bring the foot down and lift. Down and lift. Down and lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So much happening here. Leg comes forward. We're doing circles, back, and around. Yes, beautiful. Now, as you're bringing that leg back, can you extend it a little more? Can you really, really find that length in the hip? I'm hitting my couch. So making sure your hips are not moving. Last 2, and 1 reverse. Yes, creating length in the hip. So hard, but feels so good. This is one of my favorite exercises. Last 2, last 1, bring it down. Let's come to our stomachs. Again, I'm gonna keep my head up, but I want you to rest your forehead on your hands. Kick your left heel to your booty and then send it up so that your heel is stacked on top of your knee. Inhale, exhale, lift your knee up and then bring it back down. Inhale, exhale, lift that knee and back down. Lift, creating length in the hip, eccentric activation. Our hips are warm, they're feeling mobile. And we're gonna come back to all those really deep tissue stretches and you're gonna notice a huge difference. Okay, lift it up, extend and down, up, extend, reach that foot towards the back of the room and then down. And lift, last 2, last 1. Yes, Beautiful job. Let's take a little moment to breathe here. Notice the sensations in your body. I absolutely love doing these exercises. Glute strength is essential for hip mobility. The back of my hair is an absolute disaster, but you know what? It's okay. All right, one more exercise on both sides with the glute activation, and then we'll come back to the deep tissue stretching. We are so warm. We are so able to push our limits a little bit with the elongation of the muscles and stretching. But I do want to invite one more thing, and that is clamshells. Come to lie on your left side again. So what this is doing is a lot of activation in all of the surrounding muscles, as well as lubricating the joint. So that little last finishing touch to this hip mobility that we're doing in order to really elongate the muscles, because we need the hip to move in the joint a little bit better so that we can elongate those muscles, is some hip lubrication. Okay, so we're gonna play around with our range as well. You're lying on your side. We have that exact same situation going on where your head is in line with your hips. Your knees are bent. You're gonna lift your feet up towards the sky, flex your feet, send your tailbone back out slightly, so you're arching your back ever so slightly. Open your right knee up towards the sky and then close it. Open up the knee and then close. We're doing 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, holding it open here, how much more can you open up your hips? Can you send your knee back towards the room without moving anything else? Send it back, back, back. Close. Other side. We're lying on the right side. Okay. Supporting your head. Head's in line with your hips. Knees bent. Hold onto your hip. Arch the spine slightly. Lift your legs up. Flex your feet. Open up your left leg. Close it. Open up and close. 5, 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Holding it open. How much more can you open? Oh my gosh, I could do so much better on my other side. I'm very tight on this side, and that's okay. Twins. Wait, sisters, not twins. Right? I'm trying to get that saying down. I guess I'm not. We don't have to be the same on both sides. Open, 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 and close. Whew, okay, a lot of activation. Let's come back to our low lunge. We're gonna do the right leg in front first. Okay, so right foot comes in front, tucking in the pelvis again. Send your hips forward like we did earlier. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Inhale, exhale, lengthen. How much further can you go right now? Inhale, exhale. How much further can you go? I'm feeling a lot more flexible. Inhale, exhale, sending it forward. Remember, you can still be up here. If you're so new to opening up and lengthening this area, it's gonna be tight. But notice the difference from the beginning of class. Inhale, exhale. One more time. And exhale, come all the way down. Shuffle your right foot out. We're coming into lizard. So you have your right foot that's kind of pointing like a 45-degree angle away from your body, and then your back leg, you can kind of keep the toe untucked or you can tuck it up to you. Here's your options. Either staying up here or tucking your left toe. You can lift that back knee a little bit to get deeper into that front of the hip flexor. Deep breath in here. You can wiggle, do whatever you need to do. Beautiful job. Inhale and exhale. Now stay where you are, stay in your lizard. I'm just switching over so that you can see me. We're gonna come into a little bit of opening of the inside of the hips here. Inhale, and exhale. Now, tuck your back toe if you haven't already. And now we're gonna come into that Skandasana position. Open up, send your bum back. So come to sit on the floor and then bring your right foot in towards your pelvis. So now we're sitting, we've got our right foot in front of us and our left foot out to the side. Bring your hand onto your leg wherever is comfortable. Slide your left hand down your left leg as you reach your right arm up and over, side bend. And then lift back up. Side bend over towards your left leg and then lift back up. Last one, side bend over towards the leg, lift back up. Now we're going to change it up a little bit. Bring your left hand over in line with your right, and then we're going to come to sit kind of on top of our right leg and then lift the chest up. This is kind of like a low lunge, but a little different. We're targeting some different muscles and we're getting deeper into the front of that right hip flexor, going a little higher. Inhale, lift. Now exhale, open up, come to sit again, and then reach over your left leg. Lifting all the way up. Let's come to sit on top of the leg, lift, lift, lift. And then come back to sit on your bum, reach over to the left. 3 more here. Really let it feel fun. Start to flow, let your nervous system know this is okay. We can play around inside that joint capsule and be safe. We can have fun. Let your body know that this is fun. Last one. And reach. Coming back up. Coming back to sit on top of that leg. Come back into kind of a tabletop position. Let's come all the way up and then we'll do the other side. Let's go this side. Left leg in front this time. Inhale, tuck in that pelvis, send the hips forward. How much more forward can you go on this side? For me, this is more flexible. My right side, I'm left-handed, so that's always funny. But my right side is always more flexible. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Sending the hips forward until we come all the way down. Shuffle that left foot out. We're coming into lizard. Sending your pelvis down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale again and exhale. Last breath. You have the option to tuck that toe, wiggle, open up the front of that hip a little bit more. All right, so we're going to open up to that Skandasana position on this side, but we're going to come to sit all the way down. Bring that left foot in. So now we've got our leg out to the side. We've got our left foot in towards us. Slide your right hand down that leg as you lift your left arm up and over. Nice. Oh, feels so good. Lift up. Place. Actually, let's do 3 first. So reaching over your right leg and then coming up. Last one. Reach that arm up and over and towards that right leg. Lift up. Plant your palm down. Your right hand is coming in line with your left as you come to sit on top of that left leg. Ooh, feels so good. I'm really sending my right hip down to feel that stretch. Come back to sit on your bum or reach over. Lifting up. Let's create fluidity up on that leg, making it fun. Let it feel good. No one's watching. Have some fun with it. Open your chest up. Come back to sit down. Lifting and reaching over your right leg. 2 more. Reach, reach, reach. Lifting up. Sliding that leg back. Last one. So we're back on top of that leg. Bring your knees to meet. I want to play around with Skandasana now with you guys. I'm checking the chat. Okay, we should all be good. Okay, so let's start standing. I'm going to try to stay in frame here. We're playing around with the ultimate, okay? I'm coming back. A lot of you guys ask me about Malasana and Skandasana. Now Malasana, now you don't have to do it yet, you can stand and just take a little breather, a little bit of a break, is this position. So yogi squat coming all the way down. You want to be comfortable here. So we've got a lot of situations where people are lifting up onto their heels, or maybe they are falling backwards. There's a few reasons for that. So first of all, if you come into Malasana and your hips are, your heels are lifted, just know that that doesn't actually have much to do with your hips. I mean, it can, but typically that has to do with your calves and ankles. I have ankle mobility classes on YouTube as well as in the membership. So that's something you'd need to work on for that specifically. But you could pop something underneath to make that more comfortable, but it's not the end of the world, right? You can come into Malasana like this. You don't have to have your heels down. It's not required. But coming into Malasana, being able to lift up and down with ease, no resistance, is just, I mean, it's just incredible. And, you know, there are lots of studies in being able to come down to the floor and lift back up with ease is linked to a longer lifespan, healthier, happier people in general that can do that, can get up and down from the floor like that. So, you know, that is something I would say is important for having a healthy body that you feel good in. Being the best version of yourself does mean that you're able to do these things. Okay, so let's talk about it. That requires a lot of strength in all of the muscles, as well as a deep mind-body connection. So in other words, you need to practice these movements quite a lot to be able to do it with ease. One of the reasons I can do this is not actually because I'm so strong and flexible and mobile necessarily. I am because I practice it a lot, but it's mostly because I do it every single day, so my body is so comfortable. So what you need to know is doing these movements every single day is what's going to get you there. You have to create comfortability in your body, in your mind, to be able to do these movements with ease. A lot of people are like, I could never do that. I could never, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to start. Yeah, because you never do it, okay? So let's go ahead. We've got 5 more minutes. So wide stance, standing in the middle of your mat. Your toes are at a 45-degree angle. Deep breath in, lift and lengthen the spine. As you exhale, bend your left knee and then come back up. Inhale, exhale, right knee bends, come back up. Left bends and up, right and up. Let's create those connections. Send your knee as back towards the rim as you possibly can. Because I don't want you to be sickling in here. You're not going to be lengthening these muscles, okay? So sending your knee back towards the rim as much as you can as you come down. Right and left. Now, if this is the only thing that you feel comfortable doing today, stay. Don't go further than this. This is Skandasana, okay? This is the beginner version. Stay here, work your way down. Do this class again if you want to actually get to a proper Skandasana, as in the full expression, comfortably. But please don't push past your limits right now. This is the beginning. This is how you get there. If you're feeling good, let's keep going. Bend the left knee all the way down. Slide that right leg down. Flex the foot. Now, this is the full expression. You can also come onto your hands. You can bring blocks here so you can lift your lift the ground a little bit closer to you. And then you can also switch like that, okay? Otherwise, can you come all the way down? If your foot is lifted, that's okay. Totally fine. You can place your hands on the ground. You can play around with balancing. We're gonna go to the other side. Let's go, okay? You can use your hands and you don't have to make it perfect. Just play around with it. Create those connections. Let your body know it's okay. Take it slow. And you can stay here. You can play around with coming all the way down, coming up, coming all the way down, coming up, okay? Create the connections. That's how you get to the full expression. It's kind of more important than having long muscles, than lubricating the joint. It's kind of more important than all of that. If your mind knows that your body is safe, capable, and able, you're gonna have an easier time, okay? It's kind of like riding a bike too. Once your body knows that it's okay, it's gonna be easier to get back to that place. Okay, so we've gone over Skandasana, let's go over Malasana before we have to finish. Again, wide stance, not too wide though, not as wide as the Skandasana stance. So a little closer, a little bit wider than the hips. 45-degree angle, deep breath in, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees. You're sending your knees back as much as you can. Almost, if you could just send them all the way back, that's what you want to do, right? Back, back, back. Coming into the squat, lifting up, okay? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Down and lift. This is Malasana, okay? This is a Malasana squat. We're just not in the full expression. That's it. You can come all the way down, or you can stay where you are. Keep doing this if this is what feels like enough for you today. Otherwise, can you come all the way down? This is a bit wide for me. Feel free to shuffle. Can you come all the way down and then lift up? I know that probably seems insane to you right now, but this is how we create the connection, okay? Just by starting like this. Then you go lower. You create the strength, the length, and the mind-body connection. That's how you get there. So wherever you are right now, can you come all the way down? Even if you're on your toes, that's okay. Let's breathe here for 3 deep breaths and then finish up. Sending your knees back without touching them is really important to get that strength. But you can also create prayer hands and then just really push your knees back. 3 deep breaths here. Last 2. Last one. You just sit on your bum. Knock your knees together, feet out, toes facing each other. Let's take 3 more breaths here. It's a really important counter stretch. I want you to notice how your hips and the surrounding muscles feel right now. You will definitely be having sensations there. How does it feel? Does it feel warm? Does it feel kind of good? You can't really explain the feeling. What does it feel like? Inhale. And exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. And that is it. That is the hip elongation workshop. That was so fun. I loved doing that with you guys so much. If you are signed up, you will receive the replay. Otherwise, this class will be gone. I mean, in order for you to view this, you did have to be signed up, but just look out for the replay if you didn't make it for the whole thing. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. You will be able to come back to this chat too. So even if you're practicing and this isn't live, you can ask questions here and I will check this and come back to it. It was so fun doing this with you guys. I honestly love doing live streams with you. I don't do them super often, in which they are open to anyone. Like I do them quite a bit inside the membership, so definitely do check that out. But otherwise, feel free to ask your questions here.